Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome back to another Pointless Hub reaction. I mean, people seem to have liked the video I made, reacting to their, history of cowboys and aliens, which, again, a lot of that I had no idea even existed. And again, it's definitely one of those channels that I like watching, so, I mean, might as well do the next one. So, this video is Clash of the Titans, the most 2010 movie ever made. It was 2010 movie. Honestly, I don't think I've ever actually seen Clash of the Titans. I think I've seen clips of the original one that was stop motion. And also, whenever I think of Clash of the Titans, the first thing that comes to my mind was an old cartoon called Class of the Titans, where it was, it was that whole thing where it's you have a whole bunch of descendants of the gods, and they're all teenagers, and they're all sent to be at this one, high school that's run by the ancient, Greek gods, so that they can train them to be modern day heroes and stuff like that. It was really funky. I haven't seen anything from that show in a long time. That might be fun just to look up again once in a while. But yeah, so I mean, as I said, I really don't know anything about the 2010 movie. Though thinking back, 2010, where there are, honestly, the only thing I can really think of in 2010 was, that was sort of in the period where there was, a lot of, natural disaster movies, right? Because, again, you had, 2012 being a thing. So that would have only been a couple years away. Honestly, I can't really remember much from 2010 at all, really. And just in the corner it says only on Xbox 360, which I mean that's just perfect right there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I really don't have anything else to say, so might as well get this thing started. So yeah, of course, as always, original video is linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video will lead to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because almost 3/4 of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change, because my next big goal is hopefully hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
Imagine if you took a time machine back to 2010. Just imagine that time. What would be two things that'd be inescapable? Crippling debt doesn't count. I know what I'd say, at least when it came to movies. Sam Worthington and 3D. For a good 2 years or so at the start of that decade, 3D was everywhere. 3D was the future, they said, and nobody believed them, because they were wrong. 3D movies, 3D TV, 3DS.
I mean, you say that, but the 3DS was actually really good. I like the 3D effect on that one. I know some people said it gave them headaches, but I never really had that problem.
Man, Nintendo was really gaslit into that one. 3D was everywhere, and then one day, it was gone. Sam Worthington, he was everywhere. He was in Terminator. He was Alex Mason. And then one day, he was gone. 3D and Sam Worthington.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I remember him in that one Terminator movie. I can't remember what it was called, though. Terminator, because it was the first Terminator movie that actually took place in the apocalypse facing the machines, right? So, God, what? I'm trying to think. I don't actually remember that much about him. Has he been in anything recently? Wait, he was in Avatar? Really? Yeah, Fuse, Relay, Horizon, American Saga, Killer, The Exorcism, Transfusion. Yeah, all movies I've never seen. Okay.
Like the gods themselves, one day the people just stopped mentioning their names, and they drifted off into the abyss. What do these two things have in common? What movie came out around this time that might have spurred the popularity of 3D and Sam Worthington? Oh, that's right. Clash of the Titans.
Release the Kraken!
Oh boy, the gods are pissed.
Oh god, I forgot. The gleaming silver armor. It was from this movie? Oh, okay. Now that, okay, maybe I have seen more of this movie than I actually remembered. Okay.
and it's up to Jake Sully to stop them. Will he have what it takes to defeat Lord Voldemort in the name of Awa? Will the least Greek man ever to exist save the Hellenic world? The only way to find out is when you play Clash of the Titans, available now for Xbox Arcade. Speaking of which, I love video game movies.
Release the Kraken!
Oh,
This is a really weird crossover, man.
no, not video game movies, like those based on a video game.
You mean video games based off of movies? Man, thinking about it, I remember we had a 360, and I think actually one of the games I really liked playing on it was actually like the video game based off the Battleship movie.
We don't talk about those. I mean video game movies. Movies that have the exact vibe of a video game, preferably from the 7th generation. You might as well be watching a cutscene for 2 hours straight. There are entire lists on Letterboxd specifically to document this phenomenon.
Okay, I had never heard of this before. Okay. So, no, okay, so they're literally talking about, like, movies that feel like video games. Okay. Wait, really? Aragon? I mean, like, I know it's not the best adaptation of the book, but I wouldn't... I'm definitely gonna have to see what they mean by this.
To me, this is a term of endearment. A term of a simpler time. A time when movies looked like QuickTime events, and we all went along with it. Clash of the Titans is one of my favorite examples of an Xbox 360 game movie.
Big scorpions.
It has the generic white guy protagonist with the buzzed head, a series of levels and bosses to defeat, some lovable side NPCs, a lot of mobs, and who could forget the piss filter?
Oh god, right. Now it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me, all the criticisms of video games of this era. But yeah, I mean, every buzz cut white guy and brown and yellows. Why was that mainstream gaming just brown and yellow then? Oh no!
Praise
These
be
are not
the
good
piss
memories
filter.
to bring back.
All of those qualities ended up not really helping Clash of the Titans when it came out. It got a full 27% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and an even more damning 40% from audiences, and those people like anything. Am I saying the general audience is stupid and dumb? Yes. Yes, I am. But I am also a part of the general audience on those occasional days I choose to leave my bedroom. Sometimes I am complicit. You see, I spend most of my time reading the classics, the great myths of our age. Hercules, on VHS and Disney Blu-ray.
Honey, you mean
The Odyssey, trailer, on YouTube, and my personal favorite, The Legend of Perseus. And what better way to learn about the legend of Perseus than by going to the source of the myth, the original Clash of the Titans from 1981. That doesn't sound right.
Honestly, we need more movies nowadays that instead of CGI just have claymation as like their special effect. That's like one of the main things people complain about with movies nowadays, that the CGI is like, it's degrading, that it's like, it's getting worse than it was in past years. So if that's the case, and like I have heard, like I honestly can't tell you the number of times I've like watched various like movie special features and behind the scenes things, and have constantly heard that like doing practical and physical effects would just have been cheaper and easier than doing it in CGI. So, like, if you want, if you want to do, like, a modern movie, just do that. Use literal, like claymation and practical effects here, because you'd honestly save a ton.
Clash of the Titans is technically a remake. That was news to me. Like many others, I saw this movie once, forgot about it, and then it just pops back into my head from time to time.
Like, I knew it was a remake, because I think I had seen, like, clips of the original movie. I hadn't really seen the entirety of the original movie either, so I mean, I was kind of just, I was on like neither side of the fence there.
Like all the other intrusive thoughts. A few years ago, I found out that there was an original Clash of the Titans from the 80s, and I thought, oh, okay. That information wasn't really relevant to my life until this video. So yeah, there was an original. Clash of the Titans from 1981 is just a fascinating movie to me, because this does not look like it came out in 1981. This thing came out in the same year as Raiders of the Lost Ark, Escape from New York, and Going Ape. Going Ape? When 80-year-old Max Sabatini dies, he leaves his 3 prized orangutans in the care of his only son, Foster. To inherit his father's $5 million fortune, Foster must take care of the apes for the next 5 years. What the fuck is this?
I've never heard of that one before. But okay, so the original one came out at the same time as the Indiana Jones, really? Okay, I mean, okay, well, I said before it was older, but I guess it didn't really click in my head that he said 80s. Because honestly, with some of those effects, they look like there was more like 60s or something. Though, I mean, granted, maybe... Man, what was the budget on that?
Is that Danny DeVito?
Probably.
Clash of the Titans was a blockbuster that looked dated even for the time. There are a few things against it, like this and Blade Runner are only a year apart.
God. Honestly, that... Like, I don't know which... Like, that's both sad and fascinating at the same time. Wow.
For one, sword and sandal movies hadn't been a thing since the 60s. Hollywood
What did I
was still
say? Yeah.
building in the 70s, so big budget epics were a thing of the past. 2, well, the special effects. Before CGI, there were practical effects like puppets and animatronics and a guy in a suit. But what if the creature required something more? What if having a dumb puppet just wasn't going to do it? Introducing Ray Harryhausen. Ray Harryhausen is a legend of animation. Stop-motion animation.
Yeah.
Before CGI, before Jim Henson puppets, there was only one way to truly capture the uncapturable, and it was to animate it, by hand, like Wallace and Gromit. Stop-motion animation for creatures had been a thing since King Kong, but Ray Harryhausen perfected it. For a time in Hollywood, there was no ILM, there was no Weta, there was this man. Not even a team. It was literally just like this guy.
Oh, geez, wait, just going back to that puppet, like, I'm guessing... Wait, that's Shiva, that's like a garget, like a gorgon or something with a snake tail? Man, why are the arms so wiggly? Like, that's really weird.
This one guy, he was a master of compositing miniatures onto real footage. Even to this day, these shots are so impressive to me. Like, take Jason and the Argonauts as an example. The timing of these sword fights, the presence of this giant, it's just all so,
Honestly, I've seen like videos of some ways how they did this, where like they'd have it so like, oh, they'd film the guy, the people doing the scenes, and then like while they were doing the stop motion, they'd have it like rear projected on a screen in the scene, and then every time they clicked the scene to move forward a frame, the projection would move forward a frame as well. So you'd had them in the same shot at the same time. It's a really cool practice. And honestly, as I said before, like stuff like that just isn't done anymore. Like you still get like the occasional like a stop motion like movie nowadays. I think there's only like 2 studios that really do that. It's Aardman and then, oh god, I'm forgetting. It's the other one. It's made like a lot of other movies now. I'm forgetting. But like apart from those 2, stop motion animation really isn't used like at all. It's all either like puppets or CGI or something like that. And really, I have to think like maybe like again doing a modern movie like that would possibly be really like it would be really good to do, because then like especially for something that feels otherworldly and like unnatural, because then you have something that's quite literally sort of like a completely different medium.
All these creatures have that jitter of stop motion, reminding you this is an effect, but at the same time, these are real physical props with actual lighting, not a computer model.
Yeah.
So, in a weird sort of way, it feels more real. It's an impressive style, but it's still a dated style. Like, this came out 20 years before Clash of the Titans. Can you even really tell?
No, yeah, they do look basically almost identical there. Like, even just like you'd think in the 20 years, like, the actual, like, film quality would improve, but, like, the actual, like, quality of, like, the film itself doesn't seem to have improved at all. Like, again, it was, like, Clash of the Titans made on, like, a really tight budget. What's going on here?
Imagine a movie coming out today that looked like it was from 2005. Okay, that probably isn't that crazy to imagine.
I mean, in some cases, it's, you know, they'd look better if they did.
General critic consensus at the time was kind of just meh. Like, it was enjoyable, but it felt old. A standard sword and sandals flick that had been done to death a decade earlier. But you know who it wasn't dated for? Kids. Kids never saw this shit in their life. So hey, think of this like that bad movie you really liked as a kid, but your parents thought it was tired or cliche. Now, I never watched this as a kid, I just watched this recently, and I like it. It's very dreamlike. One man's dated in 1981 becomes another man's dated, but that's what I like about it in 2025. Clash of the Titans is an adaptation of the Perseus myth, aka the guy who slayed Medusa. He also did a whole lot of other things. And frankly, if you want to even slightly understand both of these movies, I really need to explain this one. So,
okay, let's go!
Greek mythology time. Crash of the Titans begins with a mother and her child being forced into a coffin and dumped into the sea. Oh, Crash, you wacky bandicoot. You see, King Acrisius of the city Argos was foretold by the oracles that his grandson would be his undoing. So, to protect his own life, he sacrificed his daughters. Not by killing her, oh no, by locking her in a tower, or in like a cell, just anywhere away from a guy who could knock her up. And luckily for Acrisius, Zeus. In the original myth, Zeus impregnates her with a literal golden shower, but in the Clash series, I guess he just does it the old-fashioned way. Despite Acrisius trying his best to Rapunzel his daughter, she gave birth to a boy, Perseus. As punishment for all that, Acrisius, well, lost his marbles a bit. And as punishment for that, Zeus destroyed Argos, and the king.
Yeah, geez, you know, if one of your daughters was literally impregnated by the gods, you'd think that, you know, they'd be under their protection, so best not to do something that would anger them.
Glad we're all caught up. So, despite floating in a coffin for a while, Perseus and his mom actually ended up pretty fine. They landed on an island, where Perseus grew up to become a Chad. Olympus looks like Krypton, and all the gods talk about how dumb the humans are. Zeus is angry because the son of Maggie Smith, Calibos, decided to go off and kill his entire herd of flying horses. For some reason. Like, why would you do that? As punishment for being a little freak, Zeus deformed Calibos, turning him into a monster. Calibos was originally meant to marry Princess Andromeda of Joppa, and now that's not gonna happen. Andromeda is now available, ugly. But she also is kind of cursed, and nobody can marry her unless they answer a riddle. Luckily, Perseus knows the answer. Yes! After getting a bunch of godly goodies from his Olympian friends, Perseus goes on a quest to find the last horse of Zeus's herd, Pegasus. Before getting married,
it accidentally just breaks its neck. Oh no. Man, it's like, I'm just trying to imagine, like, I know Disney, you know, Disneyfies a lot of movies, but thinking about, like, how, again, just thinking of, like, how differently, like, characters are portrayed between the original myth and in Disney is still just absolutely insane. How you can have them be just basically diametric opposites.
The Queen of Joppa, for some reason, brags that her daughter is more beautiful than the literal patron goddess they have a statue of.
Oh, why would you do that?
More lovely than the goddess Thetis herself.
You know, you said that your daughter was more beautiful than me, so, what if she got ate by the Kraken in a month? That would be kind of cool. Let's do that. And
again, yeah, this is entirely your fault. You're an idiot.
So the movie plot begins. Perseus has to figure out a way to defeat the Kraken and save Andromeda. On his adventure, Perseus fights some wacky mobs, fights against Medusa in a boss fight, and then uses her head to defeat the Kraken. and everyone lives happily ever after. I know this video is about this Clash of the Titans, but the original just had so much going on, I didn't want to sweep it under the rug. Like, Perseus's trainer in this Greek epic is the trainer from Rocky.
Yeah, wow, okay. God, I'm going to be completely honest here. I've never actually watched Rocky. I've probably seen a good, like, 60% of it just from, like, clips and stuff like that. But, like, I've never actually thought to look up what other movies he would have been in. And the fact... God, that's weird. Okay. Talk about being typecast.
Perseus, heir to the kingdom of Argus?
Go away! Go back to the docks where you belong!
The star of the show here, though, isn't the special effects or the whimsical atmosphere, or even Mighty Mick himself. It's Bubo. Bubo the fucking robot owl. He's the best thing about this movie. Zeus tells Athena to send Perseus her owl, right? But she really likes her owl. Understandable. So
Okay.
she tells the weapon maker, Hephaestus, to send a mechanical owl instead, which is just hilarious because this wasn't even in the original myth.
Dude, I like my owls. Go send him a toy. Like, jeez. Okay, so I really, again, so because I think if I remember correctly, wait, is the mechanical owl still a thing in the remake? Man, what a weird thing to bring over. Okay.
They invented Bubo for this movie alone, and I am sure glad they did, because in the middle of the standard sword and sandals movie, there is this wacky animal sidekick that
Who's a literal
doesn't
robot.
really do that much. He just beeps and boops. This is now the #1 Bubo fan channel. Oh yeah, that's Clash of the Titans. It had a middling performance at the box office.
I mean, middling. It still made back several times worth its budget, which, again, like some of those executives can never have enough.
And kind of just faded away, overtaken by all the movies that people actually remember coming out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Though, its cultural relevancy didn't entirely disappear. The original actor for Perseus, Harry Hamlin, did voice Perseus in God of War 2.
We think a harpy's fool such as yourself deserves such praise.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a cool little connection they did there. Okay.
Yeah, after that, I don't really think anything else really came from Clash of the Titans. Not that I can think of. Okay, fine, we'll talk about the thing you came here for.
The actual, yeah.
Hey, it's me, Chef Bobby Boobadelli, here again to whip up some delicious meals, and hopefully you learn something along the way. Like how I just learned my wife is taking the kids. These things happen. We roll with the punches. Normally I would have whipped up an exquisite 3-course meal to show off to you nice people, but since she took the kitchenware in the divorce, I have nothing to show ya. Luckily, that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in, Factor. Factor delivers delicious cooked meals right to your door. All you gotta do is microwave them for 2 minutes, and you're ready to go. Wow! You don't need to be a professional chef like yours truly to have a good meal. But please, keep watching me anyway. I really need the money. Look right here at these options I got. I got the protein selection. We got fajita spiced shrimp and filet mignon, sour cream and chive chicken, barbecue sauce pulled pork, and what I'm having right now, another filet mignon, but with roasted red peppers.
Okay, so, I mean, I usually don't, like... I usually cut out sponsored bits in my video, but I really have to wonder, because, like, recently I've been seeing a lot of sponsorships for, like, Factor and stuff like that, and I really have to wonder, because, like, these meal box things, like, they're usually, they're like advertised as being, you know, like, cheap and stuff like that, you know, like, for a budget or, you know, stuff like that. But I really have to wonder, like, how much money do you actually, like save? Because, like, I mean, granted, okay, thinking about it, I know another big thing you save is time, you know, not having to cook. But, I mean, even if you're feeling lazy, like, I've always found that, like, a home-cooked meal always feels better, like, always tastes better. I wonder I wonder if these things really are worth it.
Man, can't get that in Italy. I legally cannot. She got a restraining order and I can't legally enter the country. You got calorie-smart meals, gluten-free options, now even Asian and Mediterranean meals too. The sky is truly the limit. So why not try Facta out? Click the link in the description and use my code PointlessHubFB50 to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Facta box.
I hope they mean like a box containing multiple meals and not just a single meal, because that if so, because if so, that would be like a really sucky coupon.
You ain't gonna get a better deal anytime soon, and you ain't gonna get a meal out of me until my cousin Tony comes back from Atlantic City with my money. Give me my money, Tony. Get Facta today. I'm Italian.
Yeah, you sound like
I
it.
like the vibe of the original. It's very uplifting, in a way, if that's the word to use. Like I said, dreamlike. Bright warm colors, fantastical set pieces, skies of the brightest Mediterranean blue. The cities are perfect and clean. The layers are ominous, but vibrant.
Dirty.
Frankly, this just looks like something AI would rip off. I love the look of those classic Sword and Shield movies. Back when they weren't afraid to show a little color. The remake is not like that.
Trust your senses.
Yeah, it's gonna be all browns and yellows and a bit of white, but other than that, it's gonna be rather.
And don't look this bitch in the eye.
Clash of the Titans 2010 is really the most early 2010s movie to ever exist.
You were born to kill the Kraken.
I don't know why I was born.
Like every trend of the time shows up here. This world is gritty and harsh. Mexico piss filter, Russia blue filter, the actual worst attempt at 3D I've ever seen, and of course Sam Worthington. It's kind of a work of art in a whole different way than the original, unlike the first, which could be confused for something from the 60s.
This one is very much seemingly the perfect time capsule of the era, it would seem.
There is absolutely no confusing when this movie was made, and I kind of love it for that. I mean, look, I don't love this movie. It's not a great movie by any means. It's not an unappreciated gem. What you see is really what you're gonna get. But it does have some little gems
Okay, I like this version of the meme.
within this generally empty mine. The first of which is Sam Worthington himself. Yeah, that's right, I said it. He's a gem. You thought I was gonna make fun of him, but I won't. We are Sam Worthington appreciators around these parts. But still, you can't help but ask the question, why was Sam Worthington everywhere for like a year? What could possibly be the reason? It was Avatar. Like, obviously.
Yeah.
Within the span of 2009 to 2010, Ol' Sammy was in 3 major films, all of which were really because of James Cameron. So, here's the story. Matt Damon was supposed to be Jake Sully. That's who Cameron wanted originally, but Damon was busy being all Bourne Ultimatum. Open auditions happened.
Oh, the burning!
Sam Worthington was literally living in his car when he auditioned. His somewhat pissed off attitude was what made Cameron immediately love him. This guy is the perfect jarhead. Kinda like Jake Sully himself, he wasn't the actual first pick, but hey, it worked out. Then everything really just came from that one audition. Before Avatar even came out, Sam was in Terminator Salvation. As a Terminator, who didn't want to be a Terminator? He just wanted to be a guy. I wonder how he possibly got that role. Then Avatar came out where he played a guy who didn't want to be a blue alien, he wanted to be a guy. Until, you know, he banged an alien.
Yeah, of course.
Then he was in Clash of the Titans, where he played a guy who didn't want to be a half-god, he just wanted to be a guy.
Okay, I'm sensing a pattern here. Is this just a theme throughout his entire filmography? Does he just continuously play characters who just want to be a guy?
Oh yeah, he was in Clash because everyone knew he was going to be an Avatar. That movie was huge before it even came out. Even being casted in that was a big deal. I remember this time vividly. Suddenly out of nowhere, this guy's face was plastered everywhere.
I am Sam.
What the hell was going on? Was this a psyop? No, it wasn't some big conspiracy. This guy just got a lot of gigs because of one audition with Jimmy Cameron. Good for him. You know, went from homelessness to being Alex Mason blasting JFK in the face. The reason I bring up his casting before, like, the plot or art direction is because really this whole movie can be summarized by just having Sam Worthington. Buzzed hair, no facial hair, generic badass gruff-speaking dummy.
Interesting.
It's
Please tell me that was not an edited clip from the movie. Please tell me that it just literally just cuts to him screaming like that, because that would be absolutely perfect.
beautiful. Sam Worthington does not fit into this world at all.
No,
this is
not
not a
at
man
all.
who existed before the invention of the M16.
Honestly, like, again, it's the buzzed hair mostly, like, because, like, you'd think, like, this hairstyle just sticks out so much, because, like, of course they did have, like, razors back then in the, you know, in the age this is supposed to take place in, but it was very much either, like, it was either an all or nothing sort of thing. So you'd either cut the hair to length, but it'd be physically impossible to cut it to that short without just shaving the head off completely. So, like, they couldn't have given him just either let him grow his hair out just a little bit more to a more natural length, or just given him a wig.
Seeing him in a full sword and sandals just makes me laugh. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I get it. This was a purposeful, creative decision.
Did he spin the shield?
This was a purposeful, creative decision by the film. As you see, Clash of the Titans is not meant to be a whimsical adventure like the original.
No, I can tell that already.
This is meant to be a hardcore, badass action flick, in the only way a movie from 2010 knew how. This is a Perseus who isn't just simply a hero. This is a Perseus with a f***ing vendetta. One who curses the gods for what they did. He won't even pray to Zeus.
Pray to your damn father. No.
He confronts those mythological beasts head on with that scream. You know the scream. And I don't know if it's just nostalgia at this point, but Perseus does indeed sound cool.
My father was killed by a god.
I cannot deny that I like this grizzled, tough guy in a world of gods and monsters. Clashing of Titans. Wait a second. Why is this called Clash of the Titans? Literally no Titans clash in these movies, original or remake. The word Titan in our modern language is just synonymous for big. Like, wow, that thing is titanic. Wow, I'm being devoured by the ancient snake Titan boa. Wow, the Titans suck again. Clash of the Titans works as a name in that metaphorical sense, like 99% of the time.
Like, Titans as in, you know, just saying that you have a big impact on something, not that you're literally big. Like, you know, titans of industry, if I guess would be the closest way, it would be the closest descriptor.
Big things are clashing. It's a good name for your movie. It is not a good name for your movie when the subject matter is Greek mythology and there aren't actually titans.
Yeah, because they're an actual
the one
thing.
Area where the name Titan is not a metaphor, it is a literal mythological thing. The Titans, the gods before the Olympians, like Kronos who devoured Zeus before he burst from his belly like a xenomorph, are not in this movie. Medusa isn't a Titan. The original calls the Kraken a Titan.
I command you to let loose the last of the Titans.
But the Kraken isn't even a Titan. It's just a sea monster. Like, don't even try that movie. We all know you just wanted a name that sounded vaguely mythological and also cool. So you...
I mean, thinking about it, like, what else could you have called it? Because, like, what was the original story called with Perseus in it? Like, what's its name? Etymology... Birth of Perseus, Hiring Wedding Gift. Yeah, it doesn't. I can kind of understand where they're coming at here because I'm looking at like the story, the story of Perseus doesn't have like a grand title you can call it by. It's just the story of Perseus, which for the name of a movie doesn't really work that well.
You just worked backwards from there. Look, you gave me Bubo, so I'll forgive you for trying to pull one over on me.
Is there another Bubo?
Clash of the Titans is for sure better than something like The Legend of Perseus, or Perseus versus the Kraken, or Perseus Unleashed. And then since there's a remake, I mean, it's not that movie's fault why it's named what it is. You know, if I was in charge, I would have given this movie a far more accurate name. Something like, oh no, Zeus fucked up again. In the original...
I mean, isn't that just... That's not even just a thing for this movie alone. That's pretty much just Greek mythology in its entirety.
The gods were kind of just overlooking their little sim world, with humans being these playthings they'd mess with. So pretty accurate to Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Zeus is juggling a bunch of angry family members. The gods really don't have a stake in this story. They'd be disappointed if their preferred people lost, of course. They supply Perseus with loot to make his life easier, but if he loses, it'd take out a sizable portion of Zeus's miniature collection, yet it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's very much, you know, just the humans are just the gods' playthings.
The Kraken's like the Raincore. She's like the green chick. It's how it goes. This happens a lot. I like how these gods are. It's accurate. They fight, they're petty, they have preferred people or cities, and they go against each other. In the remake, it's just Zeus and Hades. I mean, sure, there's other gods present, kind of. Like, hey, it's Poseidon. But the only ones who actually matter here are these two.
I swear, it seems like every other god I've seen in any of these clips literally doesn't move. It's like they are statues, but the only thing that moves is their head, and they just kind of stand there, kind of like either draped over their furniture or like standing in a pose. Like, do they move at all?
They have entire conversations, and everyone else stands around. There are no petty squabbles here. Oh no. This is the real deal.
Yeah, because there's nothing realistic about family members constantly arguing, having petty squabbles. No.
Why do you always jump?
This is a big action movie, so the whole fate of Olympus has to be at stake. If Perseus doesn't turn the squid into a rock, then Zeus will explode. In this world, people just straight up hate the gods. The movie practically begins with toppling a statue of Zeus like he was Saddam Hussein. They're all like, yeah, fuck Zeus. Then some bat demons absolutely wreck them.
See, this is why you worship the gods, because if you don't, they get angry.
In the original, the city of Argos was cursed because Thetis got mad. They said she wasn't super pretty. Yet in the remake, there is no Thetis. So the writers need another reason for the city to be on Olympus's shit list. Huh. Hey, what if the city straight up declares war on the gods? Perfect, let's go with that. A running theme with this remake is that everything is heightened for the drama. The Queen of Argos doesn't just put a goddess in a bad mood. Oh no. The king and queen need to celebrate as they desecrate their idols and go all, we're the gods now.
Our heroes who have dared to strike a blow at the heart of Zeus.
Zeus is dead, and I killed him. A few thoughts. First off, why are they stupid? From everything I gather from this scene, it's not like humans stopped believing in the gods. Like one day they found the idea of this to be silly. Oh no, they know the gods are real. They just absolutely hate them.
The sun does not set over the ocean. It sets on Olympus itself.
This destruction of a statue was meant to be a Pearl Harbor for the Olympians. Humans are the real gods now, you know, until an actual god shows up and kills everybody.
So I guess you could say that the main crux of this entire movie happening, or at least this version of the movie happening, was purely due to human hubris and stupidity, which, I mean, knowing what I do with history, yeah, that tracks.
What was your guys' plan here? How did you think this was going to end? That's not even the insane part. The insane part is that this wasn't even the first time this happened. This must be a consistent thing, because one generation ago, another king, King Acrisius, you know, the one who did the whole daughter coffin thing, laid siege to Mount Olympus itself. This guy knew heaven was real, and he wanted to sack it. So, in the original myth, Zeus impregnates King Acrisius' daughter, right? He's like a ray of light that shines on her. In the original movie, Zeus just thought Acrisius' daughter was hot, and she knew he was Zeus, so they banged. In the remake, Zeus doesn't bang Acrisius' daughter, he bangs Acrisius' wife, as the ultimate f*** you. While the siege was still going on, Zeus turned into a bald eagle and flew to Acrisius' wife. While in their bedroom, he disguised himself as Acrisius, and they, well, you know. Then once the real Acrisius showed up, he transformed back into Liam Neeson, saw this woman scream in horror, smiled, and flew out the window. In the remake, the only reason Zeus was able to have sex with this woman was because she thought that he was her husband.
Which, I mean, actually thinking about it, I think that is something, not obviously to different people, but I think that is something that Zeus actually did do in some story in Greek mythology? At least I think?
I'm pretty sure that's a sex crime. That's how Perseus was conceived. Zeus in this world is a little trickster. I get dooming your violated wife and her bastard godchild to the depths of the ocean is probably not the coolest move.
Yeah.
Acrisius wasn't the best guy at all. But also, what does that say about Zeus that two entirely unrelated kingdoms both hate him? Even the normal foot soldier is excited to destroy his statue. The only explanation I have here is that he has just been making everyone's lives actively worse.
I mean, again, if you look at actual Greek mythology, pretty much tracks.
Through his own incompetence, blatantly and loudly, like me in City Skylines. Olympus's approval ratings are in the toilet, and in the remake, that's a big deal, because the gods need the power of prayer to stay alive. Praying to a god fuels them, and if you stop praying, they have nothing. It's Coco logic. If people forget you, you fade away. Zeus is losing his audience and the algorithm turned against him. He needs new ideas. Luckily, Hades, his entirely trustful brother who doesn't look suspicious at all, has a wonderful plan.
Man, talk about a receding hairline.
Yeah. Just kill them all. Kill everyone. Then they'll start praying to you again. That's a good idea, Hades, but aren't you fueled by fear? A thing you told me in the actual scene of this movie? Won't you just get stronger as I actively kill my followers? Yes. Yes, I will. So, not the biggest shock, but Zeus is an idiot.
I swear, these I guess these idiot plots, as they're called, where they only happen because characters are blatantly stupid. Like, again, it's happening on all fronts. And granted, you know, it obviously did start with Zeus, but the fact that, oh, you humans are going to go to war with the gods, when, you know, the gods are the gods, and they can do gods things, everybody here is just so stupid.
He trusts Hades to scare humans back into submission, which obviously was never Hades' real intention at all. Just look at him.
Yeah,
Zeus even knows this actively helps Hades, and he still goes along with it.
Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things.
Like you're the head honcho. You should know your own lore. In a stunning twist at the end of the movie, Zeus gets betrayed, and the very fate of Olympus is now at stake. It's like Hercules, except not nearly as good. I mentioned the other gods, but like I said before, they do literally nothing. Like the Kraken, the sea monster, is controlled by Hades. Why the fuck is the beast from 20,000 Fathoms owned by Hades?
Instead of, you know, Poseidon, the literal god of the sea.
The ocean is Poseidon's one thing. That's all he's got, and they took that away.
Well, actually, oceans, earthquakes, and horses, for some reason. It's a very weird collection of things that he's connected with.
He has absolutely nothing to do.
Zeus, our brother speaks the truth. Hear him.
I know I keep saying in the original a lot, but once again, in the original, the Kraken was more of a force of nature to overcome. It could be defeated with Medusa's head, but even that was a long shot. Perseus was kind of just doing the impossible to try to save the girl he loved. Now, the Kraken is Hades' key to power. His Oh wait, if the Kraken is defeated, then so is Hades. And Perseus just really wants to kill Hades in this.
Okay, wait a second. So so this came out in 2010. When were the Harry Potter books published? 2097, 98, 99, 2000, 2003, 2005, 2007. Yeah, so literally the entire series had been released by that point. So, yeah, okay. Okay.
It's probably because Hades just decided to kill his adopted family for no reason. Their ship wasn't even involved in all the blasphemy. They were just passing by. Hades felt like being a little silly. After being saved and showing up at the Redditor party, Perseus once again comes face to face with Hades, who once again takes another god spot in the story. There is no Thetis here, so Hades just shows up, turns into a black hole, and juices the queen. He's even the one who dooms Andromeda to meet her fate with the Kraken. His Kraken. Oh man, Andromeda. In the original, Andromeda was the love interest.
God, it's like... You really have to wonder, like, what honestly was going through the writers' heads at this point? Because, like, this is just outright, like, removing of characters and stuff like that. Like, this is, like, the more I'm hearing, oh god, no, this honestly sucks.
Perseus did everything to save her. Someone who chooses to join him on the adventure. In the remake, she barely exists. She's only in like 3 scenes.
No one should have to die for me.
She doesn't even go on the adventure. She stays back getting yelled at by a Portland hippie. She's not even Perseus's love interest anymore. That's some other girl named Io. Basically the distant narrator girl who makes things sound all mythological.
Stories of time before man and gods, when titans ruled the earth.
She's the one who joins the gang, leaving Andromeda, just like Poseidon, with absolutely nothing to do. The original did this dynamic competently enough, so you could actually feel the stakes when Perseus went to save Andromeda from the Kraken.
Honestly, like, they removed all these other characters, but then added in an extra character, and again, okay, I gotta look. Who wrote this? Screenplay, so Lewis... Matt Manfredi, Travis Beecham, Phil Hay. Who are you and what have you done? Director. I need things that he's written in. Really? What is this? Producer, actor. Really? Okay, never mind. I think you're a director then. Matt Manfredi. Writer. Here we go. So... Mysterious Benedict Destroyer, Ride Along, Invitation, Ride Along, R.I.P.D., Clash of the Titans, Eon Flux, Tuxedo, Bug, Crazy. Yeah, okay, heard of the only movie on here that I've heard of besides Clash of the Titans was R.I.P.D. Okay, Travis Beecham, what do you have under your belt, good sir? Pacific Rim Uprising. Oh, well, there you go there. Electric Dreams, Curiosity, and Pacific Rim. Again, they all seem to have worked on Pacific Rim and Clash of the Titans. Again, Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah, that explains that. And what about you, Phil Hay? What have you done? Destroyer alongside Invitation, Ride Along, R.I.P.D. again, Clash of the Titans. Yeah, so not a lot of stuff I've heard of. So.
In the remake, the new girl just dies randomly. The movie plays out exactly like the original, with Perseus flying back to stop the Kraken and save this random princess. And then, as thanks for saving his ass, Zeus rewards Perseus by bringing Io back to life. It's just so messy now. Whether Andromeda gets saved or not has no weight to the story, because not even Perseus really cares.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest here. These writers, there are just so many more needless moving parts to this now. It's like, it's just, why?
This is all just background noise in his revenge quest to kill Hades. Her biggest contribution to the story was giving the Kraken a focal point to look at. Now, there's nothing wrong with changing the love interests or trying to make the plot more dramatic. Perseus's goals here are far more world-changing after all. I will give the remake this, it is more dramatic, Really, my biggest problem here is that Zeus just looks like a dumbass now. So Zeus trusted Hades,
Yeah.
and now the world is going to end, right? Hades is getting stronger because everyone is afraid. It's like something out of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Perseus wins, kills the Kraken, boots Hades back to Mobile, Alabama, and all is good with the world. Zeus even shows up to congratulate Perseus at the end of the movie. "Ah, my boy, you did such a swell job." He's all like, "Man, that sure was a close one. But you know, I knew you could do it, Perseus. Defeating that bad old Hades. Like, you started this. For 80% of this plot, you were the antagonist.
Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things.
You released the Kraken because you forgot how the power system worked. You trusted
Your own power system!
the guy who obviously hates you. And when all is said and done, Zeus just acts like he had nothing to do with it. Like, Zeus, you are technically the reason this guy's parents are dead. He doesn't give a shit. He's just playing both sides. What a goof.
Yep.
I forgot to record this part, and then I got sick, so just deal with it.
Okay,
Travis
it's
Beacham,
okay.
one of this movie's many writers, said in a quote I read on Wikipedia, because I'm a hack, that he wanted this movie to be darker and more realistic than the original.
Why does saying that, oh, I'm going to make it more realistic involve, characters making stupider decisions?
Which is something I just find so fascinating. I love the use of the word realistic.
Yeah, in a story involving Greek myths.
Like any of this is realistic. I get what he means, though, because he's using realistic in the way that a lot of people in the 2010s used realistic. Gritty, dirty, rough. Not like those cheesy, bright, colorful movies of the past. Oh no, it's not like the Mediterranean was ever vibrant at all. I won't hold that against Beacham. This was just the mentality for the time. And for some time after. And also sometime now.
Yeah.
When it comes to ancient Greece, a lot of the realistic stuff just looks outright fake. Or stupid. This isn't what people think of when they think of Greek warfare. This is. Look at that armor straight out of Nolan's Odyssey. Everything is sleek and edgy. Hell, even the fucking horse is edgy. That classic white Pegasus, that's lame. This is 2010. We need to introduce the slick new black Pegasus that flies in dramatically, scaring the hoes. Speaking of dark and gritty fantasy, Game of Thrones.
Oh.
What the hell does Game of Thrones have to do with this movie?
Wait a second, when did Game of Thrones first come out? Like, the show? I'm completely forgetting.
Surprisingly a lot. For one, the score was done by Ramid Javadi. Yes, the guy who basically made the show half as good as it was. This score isn't nearly as iconic as any in Game of Thrones, but there is a hint of it coming through. There's just some aspects that remind me of it. It also might be the fact that Davos is here too.
I don't care. I don't trust them.
Yeah, Davos, Liam Cunningham. He's one of the main members of Perseus's little gang, alongside Lex Luthor, Hannibal, and, wait, is that the Hound? Yeah, the Hound is here too. He only says one line. Perseus! Then he dies. Man, it's funny, just everyone was in this movie. Maybe it's because they were planning on this being a franchise. Wonder why they never went ahead with that.
Oh. They were planning on it being a franchise. Oh. Okay, so the cycle always repeats. Why is it always that? Why? It's like, always. The one thing I've learned from like watching these videos and just looking at what happens to these movies and stuff like that is the second you have a series, the second you have a movie that's like being made with the purpose of launching a franchise or a series, that's when it fails. Every single movie that starts a franchise and like makes a good franchise is always made without the intent of being a franchise.
Oh no. Yes,
what?
There was a sequel. No, it is not good.
Wait, when did this come out? I've never heard of this before.
Clash of the Titans isn't anything incredible, right? But it was a decent PG-13 action flick. It had a certain tone that was dark and gritty, and I really liked that. It felt like a unique-ish twist on the original, trying to do its own thing. The sequel has none of these qualities.
Okay.
Navigator!
Still no.
Wrath of the Titans is a genuinely baffling next entry in this potential franchise, because it just doesn't feel like a next entry at all. It's so jarring going between Clash and Wrath. Immediately, things just feel off.
You know what? The third movie, if they ever do make it, they squish the two words together. It's now Rash of the Titans.
In ancient times,
It's pretty obvious the creative forces behind the original are no longer here. They're gone. Like what happened with Pacific Rim 1 and 2. Clash is not nearly as good as Pacific Rim, yet I feel like both movies had some grounded aspect to them, despite their setting being anything but.
Honestly, again, that's one of the reasons I love, to this day, I still love Pacific Rim. Because, like, it's a giant robot movie where, like, you feel like, you feel the machines, like, you can feel their weight. That's part of the reason I've never really liked, a lot of, like, Japanese, Japanese mech shows and anime and stuff like that. Partially because they're always in space, and so you don't feel the weight of these giant machines really. But then, like, you go to the sequel and you have these giant multi-story tall machines, like, just floating around everywhere. Like, it's ugh. We don't talk about the sequel. There is no sequel.
There was a real sense of danger. The monsters were a threat, and named characters died at a moment's notice. Then the sequels just threw that all away. The action is floaty and cartoonish now. The tone is lighthearted to appeal to a more general audience.
Yeah.
Gotta have those jokey jokes. Wrath of the Titans is just PG-13 Percy Jackson. They took a gritty action flick and turned it into a stupid fetch quest adventure to save Zeus from getting milked. First off, directing. Clash was directed by Louis Leterrier, who was also a major influence on the script. He directed the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, Transporter, and the later Fast and Furious movies. Wrath was directed by Jonathan Liebsman, director of Battle Los Angeles and that TMNT movie. Take of that as you will.
Oh God, no.
Is important, and I'd say that the sequel overall feels cheesier. Wrath's biggest issue is really just the writing. I didn't just throw out that Pacific Rim comparison willy-nilly. Oh no. If there's one thing these two sequels share in common, it's suffering from the absence of Travis Beacham. Travis Beacham wrote both Pacific Rim 1 and Clash of the Titans, while also not writing the sequels at all. Some other guys did. Like Dan Mazzou, whose only writing credit is Fast X, Damsel, and this movie.
Okay, so maybe I was giving Beacham, like, too much, so maybe it's coming to I'm coming to the conclusion here that that Beacham actually was, the thing making the movie good here, not one of the things making it bad. Okay.
Movies written by Variety's 10 screenwriters to watch in 2008.
We are in this together, Hades! Your weakness is your blind hatred for your father.
This movie was doomed from the start. Doom is a good word to use here, because despite Doom being the main theme of the movie, the tone does not reflect that at all.
Few gold coins, you're so scrawny. Oh, let me see, what else have I dreamt of as I lay here in my cell?
Don't push it.
The world is literally going to end. Kronos is gonna wake up and kill everybody. Olympus has literally fallen, and yet the tone is somehow more lighthearted than the first. Nothing here even feels connected to the first. Wrath feels like a reboot for a movie that only came out 2 years earlier. They recasted Andromeda. Why is she blonde? Why is Perseus Australian?
There's more to life than gods and titans.
The remake had it pretty easy, as they already had an older movie to use as a template. Wrath did not have that luck. This is an 100% original story. Oh no. Okay, so it has been
no.
more than a decade since the events of Clash, and the world is still suffering. At the end of Clash, Zeus thanked Perseus for saving his ass and flew away like everything was hunky-dory. Like, yeah, Zeus made some mistakes, but everything's going to end up okay. Things did not end up okay.
Of course.
Zeus declaring war on humanity, even for like 5 minutes, backfired on him horrendously. Everyone is now atheists who hate the gods. Like, they believe the gods are real, but they despise them so much now, because of all the war crimes, that everyone simply stopped praying to Olympus. So by the time of the second movie, most of the gods have just withered away and died.
It's a place where people come to worship the gods. Or at least they used to come.
Holy shit, man, how the fuck did you fumble this?
I mean, declaring war on humanity when they are your source of existence will kind of do that to you.
While it just felt like Zeus and Hades were the only gods in Clash of the Titans, now they literally are. Well, at least Poseidon is here too. Never mind. The last remaining god, other than Frank Drebin Jr. and Mr. Menu, is the God of War. Oh, it actually is the God of War? Okay. One thing I liked about
Ares, okay,
Clash is that they had a lot of gods that weren't even popular. Like, who the hell is Thetis? It's like the remakes are afraid of having a big pantheon, so the gods are just like 3 guys.
Man, imagine that, afraid of having a big pantheon when, famously the Greek pantheon was so small to begin with.
If I was writing this, I would have whipped out some Z-listers. Would have brought in Hecate, the goddess of ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Perseus' wife is dead. Yeah, so at the end of Clash, Zeus brought Io, the exposition girl, back to life, right? As a reward for Perseus Windows-Zing his mistakes away. Well,
yeah.
Now she's dead. It's so funny watching these back-to-back, because one movie ends with Perseus and his new wife all happy and shit, and the second begins with her just dead, off-screen. At least she died in a different movie, and not like in the
one
end
immediately
credits
after
of her own movie.
I was like, so, what killed her? Was it just like, oh, she got sick this time? Did she trip and knock her head off? Like, what happened?
So that's good. Maybe the actress just didn't want to return, or maybe they needed a reason for Perseus to not be tied down. Who knows? He has to have that flirty banter with Queen Andromeda. Wait a second. That's not Andromeda.
You've obviously been in your own battles, Perseus.
In Clash, Andromeda was a brunette who was pretty passive. Like, really passive. Even more passive than the one from the 80s. She did nothing except almost get eaten by a giant squid. And, for some reason, they brought her back in the sequel, at least in name only, because Andromeda is just an entirely different character.
3 lines of defense. Agenor's men will hold the front line from the trenches.
She's blonde now, which, granted, is closer to the original. Why wasn't she just blonde in the first place? I don't know. But the most baffling change is she's now a battle queen. Like Xenon, warrior princess. She's bold and quippy and leads men into battle. She's willing to get into danger, and she can like hold her own against Perseus. It's actually insane how much of a change this is. It's one of the things that makes me wonder if this was just meant to be a soft reboot. Because how can the movie actually expect the audience to just accept that these are the same people?
Honestly, it's literally insane. Like, different actress, they don't even, pretend to try to make her look any similar. Different personality. Like, God, again, okay, Beecham, why did you not come back? They should, honestly, when it comes to stuff like this, they need to have it contractually obligated in the writer's contracts that they come back for any sequel. Because, honestly, stuff like this just is horrible.
These came out only 2 years apart. I cannot imagine this Andromeda almost getting sacrificed by a smelly hippie. Why didn't they just make her a new character? Just have her be some queen from another city. It's Greece. There's a lot of them.
There's definitely a lot of those, yeah.
Andromeda's rewrite is really symbolic of all of Wrath's problems. The new writers or creatives involved just wanted to course correct the tone of the series. So now we have a warrior queen and some loser comic relief joining Perseus on his adventure. How fun! Hades and Ares have teamed up to free Kronos, the actual Titan himself, who was chained by the Olympians before humanity began. If Kronos is freed, he will destroy humanity. But if they're the ones who freed Kronos, then maybe he'll let them live. Yeah, this guy really seems like the negotiating type.
Yeah, the literal mountain made of rock, magma, and smoke. Yeah, he seems very agreeable.
Zeus gets betrayed by Hades, again, gets kidnapped, and really does nothing the whole movie except get his power sucked. So it's up to Perseus to go save his father. Yeah, father. In Clash, Perseus spent his whole life as a fisherman. His family wasn't like his adopted family, they were straight up his real family. His father, Spyros, raised him from a baby to a grown-ass man. The death of his father was so hard on him, Perseus actively rejected the gods to their faces. He didn't want to pray even when his life was in danger. In wrath, they just straight up forget that part of his character, so now he treats Zeus like his real dad. Perseus often and loudly proclaims that Zeus is his father, and Zeus proclaims that Perseus is his son.
Father! Father!
Clash ended with them just leaving on neutral terms, but now they're some real buddies.
I mean, granted, at the very least, I mean, it has been like 10 years in universe, so I guess you could kind of hand-wave that away as, you know, them growing closer over the literal decade, but again, that's still... I mean, that's, again, that'd be some very, very poor writing on top of, you know, whatever was already here.
You might even be mistaken to think Zeus raised him. Who knows, maybe after a decade or so, Perseus has lightened up on Zeus.
Literally what I just said.
I don't know why he would really do that, considering that Zeus is technically responsible for his adopted father's death. You know, the guy he considered his real dad. But it seems like Perseus just forgot those people existed now. Despite his actions really causing all of this, Zeus is shown in an entirely sympathetic light. Perseus has not one bad thing to say about him, and neither does the movie, which is really funny when considering that this version of Zeus is kind of the most fucked up of all. He banged the wife of a king who was attacking Olympus as revenge, disguised as that king. To the horror of the wife, he just banged. Banged really isn't the most accurate term, but the word I really want to use is something that YouTube wouldn't allow.
Yeah.
I think you can guess what it is. After all of that, this...
Which, again, is very accurate to, you know, real Greek mythology.
Poor woman was then doomed to die in a coffin. And she didn't even die in the original myth and movie. Her dying was something the remake specifically did. Yet this version of Zeus is the one we're supposed to most sympathize with. Perseus is basically friends with the man who is responsible for the death of his adopted family and his real mother, and he's the last one to see Zeus off when he dies. That's right, Zeus dies. He declared war on humanity, let his brother war crime entire cities, let himself get betrayed by that brother not once, but
twice, and died.
Kronos to reawaken, and then died using the last of his thunder juice. Rest in peace. It's like everyone had amnesia and forgot about the first movie.
I mean, granted, I mean, from everything that I've seen happened in that first movie, quite literally, maybe there actually was some brain damage that, you know, damaged some people's memories.
Zeus has always been nice, Andromeda has always been blonde, and Perseus has always had an Australian accent.
You're the great god Zeus, you don't need my help. Make me proud.
Where's my father?
Nobody gave a shit here. Not even Sam Worthington. Did you know he's actually Australian? I didn't until I got flashbanged by that accent at the start of the movie.
Wait, that's the same actor? Really? Man, that must have, like, face blindness or something. I honestly could not tell. Or maybe it's the fact, you know, they actually let his hair grow out for this one. Or, you know, also the accent as well. God, I am, oof.
For half of Wrath, he just speaks with his Aussie accent.
But no matter what we're about to face, you do not pray to Ares.
Before, I guess, remembering what he sounded like in Clash, and going back to that. Somehow nobody noticed for most of the shoot, but it was too late then. Most of Wrath is just a fetch quest. Go fetch a weapon, go fetch a Zeus. The only interesting part of this entire movie is this two-headed monster guy. He's pretty cool. I like him. I like his design.
What is he?
I also like that they brought back Bubo. It's Bubo, everyone.
Wait,
He's
what?
Just there. whispering to Bill Nighy. I do appreciate the little Boobo references the remakes have. Did anybody even get these? I don't think many people watched the original, so did anyone care about the Boobo Easter egg? It was very bold of them to have an extensive joke scene with Boobo that went on for like 5 minutes, as if anyone except for me would even know who the fuck this owl is, or what the joke even was. What I would give to travel back in time and clap loudly in the theater when Boobo, my favorite glup shitto, appeared on screen. I wonder what anyone's reaction would be. Well, nobody would probably have a reaction because nobody saw this thing in theaters.
I would imagine.
So Wrath failed.
Again, like, I have not heard of this one, like, at all. So, like looking international, like, what I want to see, what does that compare to the budgets? Did either of these actually make a profit is the question.
Or, well, underperformed. Clash was originally meant to be this massive franchise, which is why they were able to get so many heavy hitters, but when the original box office just didn't justify that, the sequel was the final nail in the coffin. Pun unintended. I have to say, I'm very curious where the hell they were even planning to go with the third movie, because Wrath very much feels like a final chapter instead of a middle one. This is like a Last Jedi situation. The big bad, arguably the biggest bad, Kronos, is dead. Zeus is dead. Ares is dead. Hades is just like a guy now. They do a whole passing of the torch between Perseus and his son. It's implied with the gods being dead, it's now the dawn of humanity. But like, is religion just over now? Did the Reddit atheists win? Who knows? I don't know how they could have even done a third movie. Like, where would you even go from here?
No,
Scandinavia?
To start killing off the gods of other religions. Ugh. God, I mean, that is still insane. Like, I honestly have no idea. Like, I had no idea they made a sequel to that. Like, I am still shocked. God, yeah, and again, just how, like, on top of the fact it just wasn't that well made in the first place. Like, it just so many questions. Like, where were they planning to go? Like, I'm honestly a little speechless here. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.